Hey everybody, and welcome to Let's Play Aban Hawkins and the 1001 Spikes. Let's get started on a new game here, and I will explain exactly what the heck is going on with this game, why I like it so much, why I am going to subject myself to it, even though it's going to be exceptionally frustrating because it's a very, very difficult game. Nick described this, I think most aptly, as Super Meat Boy meets I Want to Be the Guy. Basically, we're playing as Aban Hawkins here. I should point out this is available now on Steam as of the time that this video goes up. And we're going into a cave, we're doing a little bit of spelunking, but it's not a spelunky type game. It's not a, procedurally generated roguelike or anything like that, nor is it a La Mulana-esque adventure. Instead, it's like a puzzle game, but one of the most unforgiving and satisfying puzzle games when you actually succeed. I love the idle animation here from Nicholas Inc., at least published by Nicholas Inc. And I know people are going to tell me it's Nicholas. I asked Nicholas, like the saint. In any case, I am playing this using the Xbox 360 controller. Ignore these very helpful mice. I would suggest that you probably should not do that, but I will do that. Let me very quickly explain exactly what you're supposed to do. Basically, on every level, there's a key and an exit. You get the key, you go to the exit. Easy enough, right? Okay, well, in concept, yes. Keep in mind, though, that absolutely everything is out to kill you. You also start with 1001 lives. That was really stupid of me. I was actually going to demonstrate, like, check out how this block will have spikes coming out of it if I land near it, but then I just landed on top of it. The game's called Aban Hawkins and the 1001 Spikes. Instead, here we've got Aban Hawkins and the 1001 Lives. That block didn't look too sturdy. That one's going to break away. But on every single level, you just want to get the key, get to the exit. There's no checkpoints on the levels. There's only checkpoints after the levels. So you want to beat as many stages as possible. I've played this game for about 45 minutes so far. I've gotten partway through it, decently through it, you might say, but less than halfway to the exit, which is problematic because it's a difficult game. In terms of controls, what do we have? Basically, I'm using the 360 controller. It works fine with the 360 controller. I have to imagine it probably works fine with PC controls as well. A is jump, X is throw knives. Throwing knives is important. Let's see if I can time this properly, and you can see why. Now, throwing knives is important because you can shoot down the enemy throwing knives if you time it properly, and we'll have to do that. This is not like a Spelunky situation where, you can whip the arrows that... I'm so mad and bad. You can whip the arrows that the arrow traps shoot at you, and you're like, yeah, but who's gonna do that? That's not Bananasaurus Rex, right? In this, you have to, in order to survive. Okay, I'm actually just gonna continue moving onwards here. I promise you'll see it before the end of this video. It's a tactic that you have to use in order to survive. So I'm actually probably a lot more likely, there we go, to succeed at doing it right there. You can also push statues. What's kind of interesting about the game, takes a little bit of getting used to, is that there are two jumps, not two one-ups. So there's a big jump. Oh, that was so stupid of me. There's a big jump and a little jump. So little jump is A, big jump is actually mapped to Y, and that's pretty much it with respect to buttons. So basically it's a trial and error, figure out the route that you want to take to finish the level, and then just finish the level. I should point out, I'm dying a lot. These are even the tutorial stages, so you want to jump up here, and I know that guy's going to fire. Then we'll jump up here, and we'll get to the exit. Okay, if these levels seem problematic, trust me that they pale in comparison to what we're about to find, and this may... I know I've Let's Played Super Meat Boy before, I've Let's Played some difficult games. This may be the game that, I'm most unsure about us actually being able to beat, or me being able to beat, I should say, to, not, there we go, take responsibility away from myself. And also the one that might be the closest to, like, a rage through or something like that, because things do get super difficult here. So the knives, beyond just, shooting down the bullets or the knives that turrets will shoot at us, probably darts. If I had to guess what a turret would shoot in this game, it would be a dart. But additionally, and we may have to use that here, because this thing might shoot at me. Maybe it won't? Oh, spikes there. Okay, so we should be able to time this properly. That's not so bad. We can use it to kill scorpions as well. I haven't seen any other enemy types, thank God. And this is the kind of game where, there's multiple ways to play it. You can play it just to finish the game, which is basically where my skill level puts me. You can play it to get the fastest time possible, which I am nowhere near being able to do yet. Or you can play it to get as few deaths as possible, which I guess that's my secondary goal, I suppose. These skulls are basically like, getting bandages in Super Meat Boy, as far as I can understand it. They're extra collectibles that can be useful for you in order to try to prove your prowess to other people. But for me, I'm happy enough just to get to the exit to begin with. So we're almost done with our tutorial stages here. Sneak down here, and oh, that was actually probably by far the best I've ever done that level. And I think that the next level might actually be the end of our tutorial stage. There might only be 6 levels per stage. And that's gonna sound like it's not a lot. Trust me when I say that it is a lot. By the way, if you see up in the top left, it says, like, 2-player, enter. Feel free to do that if you want to come to my house and pick up the second controller, because there is local co-op in this game. Also, side note, please don't come to my house. So we're going to hit this button, and we're going to hit this button, and that will open us up to the real world, kid gloves off of Aban Hawkins and the 1001 Spikes. And I like that the subtitle for it is, like, the Temple of the Dead weeps for the living. I can absolutely understand that, because I weep for myself sometimes when I play this game. Some subtitles have actually given it, or, Weird Al Yankovicing the title. Aban Hawkins and the 1001 Sighs, because, you try to jump and then you get shot by something and you're just like, or, Aban Hawkins and the 1001, oh, fuck, really? That happens a lot. Or Gaben Hawkins and the 1001 Sales. I thought that was pretty good. General Froggy on Twitter tweeted me and said, Mike Hawkins in the 1001 Yo Mamas, which I thought was pretty good as well. So, it's telling the story here right now. Young Phoenix Wright is yelling at Bearded Man Nod's gif. Bearded Man Nod says, I've earned my fortune all on my own. If you were a real man, you'd do the same. You don't deserve a single cent from me. That is what he said. And I think that is what we're going to do. But much of the world's treasures have been discovered by the older generations. The Great Treasure Islands are just myths. Or are they? I'm not sure if we're... I actually skipped over this trying to figure out what button 5 was the last time I did this. It's the start button, in case you're wondering. Eventually, I moved out and used my young, healthy body to engage in some shady jobs. We became an anime character there, wearing the suit from Jim Carrey's magnum opus, The Mask. I've noticed several months have passed. I didn't realize this was so long, but this is okay. It's the Jim Hawkins Memorial Museum. Must be our father. Ah, the outskirts of Bristol, my favorite place. Pollitt Island, I've never heard of that before. Where is it? It's located in the Antarctic. Well, that would explain being a little ignorant of it. So I tried to stop him, but... there's a lot of islands down there by the Antarctic in the Southern Ocean. Here's a little trick question. You ask people to name all the oceans. You say, like, there's 5 oceans in the world. What do they say? Atlantic, Pacific, Indian, Arctic. I can't think of the other one. There's an Arctic Ocean. There you go. I have a feeling... I was gonna say that this was probably our love interest, then I saw that they are brother and sister. Disregard that. She gave me something left behind by our father. So what's in this box? I'm not gonna do the 7 quote, I promise. Dad told me to give it to you if he were to die. Inside was a map to the Jukampa ruins. I don't want to skip through the story because we're Let's Playing, but I am eager to get back to the gameplay as well. Hey, you blistering idiot, if you're still alive, I suggest you use this map. It leads to the Ukampa ruins in South America. I was going to say, it didn't feel like the game took place in Antarctica. Rumor has it there's a golden door called Pokomum at the deepest part of the ruins. Untold treasures lie behind the door. I know you are a bonehead, so I feel I should warn you, this is no walk in the park. That's for damn sure. Many adventurers have perished at the mere sight of its traps. That seems kind of crazy. Even as someone as great as I almost lost my life upon entering. If you really want to get in my good books, this treasure would be your best bet. Well, he appears to be dead, so I don't really care about being inside of his good books that much anymore. What a nuisance! Fine, I'll take your stupid offer to get delicious treasure. I don't care about that pocket monster or pumpkin mummy or whatever. It's a, nice little nod to Pokemon right there. Let's begin! I apologize for jumping over the title screen there, but let's get back into the gameplay here. So, prepare yourself because there are a lot of moments in this game that might make me want to scream, and that is a very small one right there. Again, remember Nick's comparison. It's like, should have just done a short jump there. It's Super Meat Boy meets I Want to Be the Guy, even though your character looks more like the character from Spelunky than anything else. Oh, I am so mad whenever that works out, or it doesn't work out, because you're just supposed to stab him in the back. But sometimes it doesn't work out that way, sometimes it does. Okay, wait for this. Important to have patience in a game like this. Alright, so we'll push this over here. Stand on top of this so we're safe. And we're safe again. Keep it going. Step 1 is always, suss out the level, get to the key. Step 2 is figure out how to get to the exit, and then steps 3 through 1,000 are putting it all together. Now, if I remember correctly, these things all become spikes, and they also, the one at the top, I know for a fact, shoots me when I go up there. So, we get the key, push this over here, and keep in mind that I have played these levels before. Whoop, gotcha. I have played these levels before, so the first few ones here I expect to be, you know, relatively quick, but once we get into uncharted territory, it's going to be extremely difficult for me to actually succeed. And the levels, of course, get more and more difficult as time goes on, too. Oh, there we go. I wonder if I can actually get the skull. I've never gotten a skull on a level before. Seems like it would be nice. Thank you to this thing for not... Oh, okay, I thought that was going to fall off the edge. Thank you to this thing for not becoming spikes when I landed on top of it. I think there is. Yeah, there's some spikes there. There we go. Finish the job here. Finish the job here and walk through. Jump. Thank God that thing didn't shoot me. Some of them do, some of them don't. Now, big jumps. Over top, over top, over top. Don't become spikes. Good. We have a brief period of resting. Okay, pick up the key. Oh, they broke. Good. And now we've got to deal with Scorpion Town down here. There's no time limit, but I'm super excited to actually possibly able to beat a level while having a skull in tow, and it looks like we're actually going to be able to do it. That's the first time I've ever gotten a skull. A lot of them, I thought it was going to be like a Metroidvania for a while. I'd eventually get powers to get them, but they're actually, to the best of my knowledge, all completely accessible. This one is such a dick. All completely accessible. Oop. By, you know, the standard tools at your disposal in the game. The I Want to Be the Guy reference, by the way, comes from the fact that there's, you know, traps that basically only activate when you stand on them. Like, for example, this bullshit right here, or stand near them in a lot of situations. So, oftentimes you can't even see the danger that is around every corner. Now, jump like this, and I think it's... Oh, okay, that's something that has the tendency to happen. This, like, look at what you have to do at the start of this level. Such absolute nonsense. But for people who complain that games these days are too easy, I probably should not have jumped there. This is one I would very much recommend. It will have you tearing what little hair you have left. I'm speaking, of course, from personal experience there. That didn't work out very well. I tried to stab that thing in the face. I really should just probably shoot the knives as fast as I can to get through that section. Of course, we got crushed in midair there. To be truthfully honest with you, 991 lives is actually pretty nice right now. Once we get a little bit further on, I expect I'll probably be losing like 40 lives per level. But you do get something like 40 back when you actually complete an area. Well, that was stupid of me, but at least no major repercussions. Jump up and around, up to sundown, see where the bad guys are to be found, and make them lay down. Alright, so just 3 quick shots. There we go. And it might be a little trickier to deal with this guy. No, we're fine. Okay, and then just sneak through the exit. I don't know what I was complaining about. That was actually relatively easy. So I think we have 2 more levels left before we actually have to deal with level 3, where things get super heinous. Okay, this level is actually really annoying. You can't see it too well because of that 2-player enter sign up there. But basically, I'm going to trigger this and then shoot the dart out as it leaves that monster's mouth. Maybe we're not, actually. Maybe we're just going to jump up. Okay, so we do a big jump. And then we sneak across here. Okay, this level gave me a lot of trouble when I was playing it off camera. So we're going to get all of these triggered, grab the key, and hopefully we've left ourselves adequate platform abilities. And of course, all of these things will shoot at me on the way back. Trust me when I say... I don't want to talk about that, but trust me when I say that actually went a lot better than it has ever gone for me before, at least on like a first or second try. So let's try that again. You want to jump like this, then you want to come over here, send this one going down in such a way that we get kind of like a, you know, descending staircase that we can use to get over here. I don't mean to toot my own horn. Ooh. Oh, there were spikes on that block too. I really don't mean to toot my own horn. We lose, basically. Might as well kill ourselves here. But I am making it look easier than it actually is right now, which is disingenuous. But, you know, the fact that we've died as many times as we have already should let you know what you're in for. I totally screwed myself again. Okay. Lots of, like, rapid-fire trial and error stuff going on here, much like in Super Meat Boy. I feel like that Nick's comparison, the reason I'm going back to it so often is because it was really apt. Like, this really does feel a lot like Super Meat Boy meets, I Want to Be the Guy. It has, like, really the hallmarks of both. Okay. Jump up. I'm so mad at myself. I barely missed that jump by 1 block. I'm going to start calling them jumps. They're not a juice franchise. Okay, good job. Good. You wouldn't believe how long it took me to actually figure out the correct order to handle this my first time through. And then we just go up and trigger it, and there we go. Probably spikes on this block, but we made it through anyway. Pretty good time. I'm happy with it, at least. You know, I'm never going to be Aban Hawkins in the 1001 Spike speedrunner. This level is bullshit and took me forever. Let's see if we can do better this time. So that thing fires like crazy. We also have another one up here. If you miss that statue, you're gonna have a really hard time. Now there's spikes, but we made it through. Now it's the flamethrower section. The flamethrower section is the precursor to the hardest section that we'll have encountered in the game so far. Oh, yeah, that timing was fucked up. But now, we've got to shoot down these... Get ready. I've failed at this probably like maybe 35 times. The first time through, but hopefully I'll do a little better because this is my second time through. Still not uncharted territory yet. Here we go. Let's establish this. I will say I really like the visual style of the game. It reminds me, I mean, this is pretty clear, but it's like an NES style game. And when you die, like when you get burned, the fire and the scorching really reminds me of like Adventure Island. And I get a little bit of that vibe from that, but not really from much else. You get more of like a Pitfall vibe from everything else. Like an NES Pitfall. Or like a Sega Master System Pitfall. Alright, so we've got to shoot once, twice, and then jump over. Now we wait for the spikes. Now the real hard part. Yep. Get ready for some trial and error there. Basically, I have to make my way over there and then kind of like stake my claim on a little bit of that territory. And then there's another one that shoots darts directly underneath it. So there's 2 turrets kind of shooting in opposite directions. It's very cumbersome to deal with, unfortunately. So... it's okay, though. I have faith in us. Just don't get burned like the doll in The Wicker Man. Wait for the spikes. Shoot this. Shoot it again! Ugh. I was maybe like a quarter of a second too early there. So the good news is, you know, the more you fail, the better you get at the early parts of levels and the less you have to replay those. But, you know, the bad part is... takes a little bit of time to get back. I mean, that's the thing that's most punishing about this game, is that there's no checkpoints outside of actually finishing a level. But I kind of prefer that, because it makes you actually have to get good at the execution, not just like good enough to have beaten it once. We see we made it a little bit further that time. And it also makes the levels way more satisfying when you actually beat them. So that time I could have easily taken damage. Push this thing. I tried to do this so many times before realizing there was this like wheeled statue that I could draw from. Ooh, that was really close to being terrible. 2 seems to be the magic number there. Let some spikes come down. Shoot you. And then I guess we'll just hang out here because I've kind of slowed my momentum down too much. If you think it looks easy, try it for yourself. This is a game I'm probably not going to do a Let's Look at because I'm already doing a Let's Play, and that implies my opinion is that I think the game's really good. And that is where I fall on, you know, Aban Hawkins and the 1001 Spikes. I think it's a really good game, and I think that if you're a fan of, you know, the games that I've mentioned, Super Meat Boy and I Want to Be the Guy in particular, these like mega hard platformers that focus on like execution. Keep in mind it isn't... Oh, that thing... Sometimes it doesn't shoot. I promise you that. I would recommend picking it up on Steam. There will be a link in the video description below to pick it up. I would absolutely... I mean, like, let's put it this way. It's probably the best Xbox Live indie games port I've ever played. Which is not necessarily saying a whole lot, but it is nice to remind yourself that there was some okay stuff. Not just okay, but some pretty good stuff on that platform. And there's other good stuff on there, like DLC Quest, for example. And, you know, I haven't played One Finger Death Punch, but I hear that it's excellent. But, anyway, let's move on. Gateways was good, but this is more of my jam than any of those. Okay, so they're kind of dangerously out of sync with one another, but that's okay. You might say, like, oh, the game would never do that. Like, it would always allow you an easy path. Nah, Aban Hawkins doesn't play fair. If Aban Hawkins can fuck you, sometimes it'll fuck you. We made it! I was seriously hitting the buttons to turn around and shoot the dart there. I swear to God. Instead, I ended up shooting a fart straight into my underpants. Probably gonna have to buy new ones. Now, walk through here. This part I've got, you know, nailed. And like yo mama. And we'll just keep it up here. Shot a little bit too early there. Like yo mama made me do, because I'm a 12-year-old boy. No offense if you're out there and you're 12. Not exactly, you know, the group that's renowned for boning moms. Although I guess according to, you know, Call of Duty voice chat, you would be. That's an easy and lazy joke, and I apologize for it. But, you know, there's a nugget of truth in it. I swear to God, we will get through this. If you think this is bad, you should have seen me play it, you know, sight unseen. I mean, you will see me play some of this stuff sight unseen, and I might as well warn you, you know, turn back now, ye who are not enjoying this, because this is what this is going to be. And I'm not really much for like, oh my God, game, how could you do? No, I've lost my ability to can right now. I'm not really that guy. But I am likely to get pretty frustrated here. You know what I should do? I think I found another thread to kind of pull on here. And again, I'd like to point out that if you think you can do better, by all means, motherfucker, put your money where your mouth is. Survive, motherfucker. That's the best I could do on short notice, you know. Well, also, talking about the Maymays my grandson likes so much. There we go. So we're going to wait till he shoots. I think he shoots on a regular interval. There we go. So we sneak through, and then we just fire these back as quickly as possible. There we go. So we wait. Open. Oh, okay. What I got to do is I got to break this block over here. Like this. Okay. And then we can just fall straight down. And we still haven't gotten to the easy part. Or, sorry, we still haven't gotten to the hard part is what I meant to say. These things are dangerously out of sync with one another. I really do not like the way that these things are in sync. Okay, I think we can make it here. Good. These things, of course, fall down. Otherwise, it would be too easy if I had just done a high jump there instead of a low jump. That would have been fine. You might be saying, why don't you just do high jumps all the time? Well, there are situations where it's important to do low jumps. Like if there's a spike directly above you, which there was in some situations there, then it's for the best. But yeah, that was a throw and a half. So probably once we finish level 2 here, or you know, world 2, I will stop this episode and we'll tackle the next one. You know, right from world 3, which is more or less sight unseen, which scares the shit out of me. I hate that that thing is on a regular interval, and the interval seems to coincide with me falling down, like Michael Douglas. Gonna resist the temptation to make a Catherine Zeta-Jones oral sex reference there, but seriously, what a hilarious, well, not hilarious, because there was, you know, a medical emergency involved, but what a ridiculous story, let's put it that way. Now, wait for these to come up, shoot this, shoot this. Are you kidding me? I apologize for being on the same level for a long time. I'm gonna, you know, remind myself that I'm an adult. I'm an adult with responsibilities who pays his rent and who pays taxes to the government. And, you know, it's not in my nature to yell at video games anymore. That being said, this video game does make me want to yell at it. But it's a good kind of yell. It's like a rebel yell, you know, like a Billy Idol type situation. Now, this is perfect. Get that knocked out. Don't get burned by the flame mammoth flames here. We got the key. Of course, there was that spike that tried to trick me. Now we sneak under. Oh, it's good. Now jump high, and we made it. All right. That was 2-5. That might actually be the end of World 2, which would give me a little bit of a respite. It is. Okay, so we'll get like the idol here as a reward for finishing that world, and that'll be the end of our madness for the time being. Okay, you know, some problems there, but I'd say that went relatively smoothly. We lost something like 36 lives. Could be worse. That's only like 6 lives per level. In actuality, it was like, you know, all lives on the last level. I'm assuming to get that skull, we probably do like a little dipsy doodle there. Yeah, okay. I've played retro video games before. There's that skull. What do we have up here? We had some coins or something? Probably get shot. Happy to have gotten the skull. You got a last artifact. The Key of Beggar. All right, 50 up. Oh yeah, we actually made a profit there. As always, thanks for watching. That's gonna do it for this episode. If you enjoyed the episode, click the like button. It helps out a great deal, especially with this series that's in its infancy. Importantly, if you're enjoying Aban Hawkins and the 1001 Spikes, pick it up on Steam. Don't let me spoil these puzzles for you. You want to experience the thrill of being surprised, killed by surprise for yourself. Check it out on Steam. The link's in the video description below. Excellent game that I'm having a great time with. And of course, subscribe if you want to see more Aban Hawkins in the future. But for now, thanks for watching. And I'll see you next time.